Hello, everybody. I am yet again Price McKinney, simply put. And as always, I want to thank you for tuning in and listening. Before I go another further, y'all know the drill. If you have not already, go to YouTube, subscribe. Simply put, podcast with Price McKinney. That is yours truly. Simply put, podcast with Price McKinney. Like, subscribe, watch a video, comment, and make that happen. So, today I'm going to talk about something that's I really don't want to get into because, and I'm just being honest, this is a moment of transparency. It's personal. This is personal, and I say that because everybody at some point has had to deal with this head on, face on. Hopefully, in a good way. More often than not, in the wrong way. And that's why this is challenging because I've had this issue myself. Okay. Great big old word. So big, I had to sign up for school to figure out how to spell it and say it. You ready? Want to hear it? Here you go. Support. I'm not talking about child support. I had that too. However, that's a thorn. But I'm not talking about that. Support. And I'm going to give you a couple of definitions. Okay. Number one, to promote the interest or cause of. Another definition is assist or help. Touch a neighbor, tell them help. So, why is this important? Let me start by saying this male or female, it don't even matter. When you don't do this or you're not actively involved with supporting and this is primarily for the people that are already in a relationship. It does apply to if you're in the building stages. You better pay attention to this. This will show you how selfish how selfish the person is or is not. Why do you say that, sir? I'm glad you asked because if you don't make yourself a part of that person's life, what they do, what they like, what they love, then you're going to eventually start seeing the disconnect and it's going to start here and it's going to spread. I can assure you of that. For example, and I'm trying to stay the course here because I've got a traffic jam in my head. I write poems, okay? If I write a female a poem, just figuratively speaking, if I write her a poem about her and I send it to her and I don't get an initial or immediate response, or if her reaction to it is minimal at best, that tells me a whole lot. And please understand, I'm not the guy that's going to keep chasing. I'm not the guy that's going to keep doing A, B, C, and D. Have I done that? Yes. That's why I ain't doing it no more. Um, if I do something like that, or a kind gesture, or whatever it may be, and I start to see the pattern of you really don't appreciate what I'm doing. My initial response, I'll watch it. I won't say anything, but I'll pay attention to it and take notes. And eventually, I will back out and bow out gracefully. And I'm cool with that. Doesn't mean that you're a bad person, but what you're not going to do is you're not going to take me for granted and take advantage of my kindness towards you. Um, Another example, if you have a business let's say selling clothes or selling colognes. I got a buddy of mine, he sells oils, does a great job at it, right? Now, I'm not saying him, I'm just using him as an example. He's married, okay? If his wife does not assist him, help him with his business, and he has to constantly do this on his own and no support from her, here's another one, another different example. If you have a speaking engagement, you gotta, share words or something. Um, Say, for example, like at my dad's homegoing service, I did words of comfort. When I looked out and saw particular faces, especially people that I know they could have been off somewhere else, they could have been in their hometown, but they were out there supporting me and my family. That speaks volumes, and those are moments that you never forget, and those are moments that make you even more appreciative of who that person is towards you. Bringing it closer to home. If you're in a relationship, you're involved, and you are married, and your person, your your significant other, is not involved, intentional, and a part of what you do. Friend of mine, God rest her soul, she said this, and I never forgot it to this day. She was talking about her husband, and he started um, into the thing that he's actually gifted to do. But he was just in the beginning stages of it, and he was consumed by it. Well, they've been married for years, and once he figured out, okay, I'm gonna get in this lane. This is where I think I'm supposed to be. He took off, just vroom. And it wasn't that he left her behind, but she noticed everything that he was doing as it related to this particular venture that he was a part of. And she got to the point. She at first she was, and she told me this. She said, at first I thought he's just crazy. He done lost his ever loving mind. And then she saw the evidence of what he was doing and the passion that he had behind it. And she came to the conclusion, and she shared this with me, and I never forgot it. She said, if he likes it, I love it. And I was like, wow. And I started noticing different places he was at, wherever he was doing what he was doing, she was right there supporting him, assisting, helping, being involved, being a part of. You have to be intentional. You have to make that person what they're doing. You have to make yourself inclusive and be a part of that, so they don't have to carry it all on their own. Because you best believe your time will come. And I'm not saying this to be a smart aleck or to be vindictive or spiteful, but please understand there comes a point, I don't care who you are, how saved, unsaved, full of hell, full of the Holy Ghost, none of that matters. After so long of that person giving and giving and giving and giving, doing and doing and doing and doing and doing, and you're not reciprocating any of that, at some point, like my daddy used to say, even a dog gets tired after a while. So just do note and be mindful of the fact what you give is what you're going to get. So if you're not supporting your person, when your time comes, when you figure out, if you haven't already, okay, this is what I need to be doing, or this is what I should be doing, and you're wondering why that person, hey, you want to go? No, I just stay at home. Or they go off and do the opposite, whatever it is that they're doing. And so y'all are living at home, y'all are together, but you're living two totally separate lives because nobody has taken the time to invest the time, the effort, the attention that's needed to support the person that you're with. And that can be long term, that can be very damaging. Because the question becomes this, folks, it's not rocket science. Why? It's not a matter of you don't like it. I don't expect, again, I'm single, but I was married twice. I wrote my first poem when I was 17 years old. I didn't expect either one of my wives to be penmen. I didn't expect that from them. That wasn't their gift. It's mine. However, granted, in my case, after I was divorced and became single, I wound up having my very first book signing. In those moments, please understand this. And again, I'm just being honest and transparent. Now, granted, if I wasn't with anybody, but it would have been nice, wonderful, and dandy to look out, look up, and see my person coming to my book signing. I had a blast, had a wonderful time. It was a great experience. But that's the one thing I can't say, that my person was there with me, because I didn't have one. Now, granted, if I did, I would surely hope that that's what would happen. Because I'm sure I have another one at some point. I just had one back in the summer. I know I have another one sometime soon. That part of my life is not done yet. Actually, just getting started. So again, make certain that whoever you're with, be it if you're learning the person, study them. Pay attention to what it is that they like. Ask questions. As you learn the person, as you spend more time with the person, pay attention to the things they like. Pay attention, because body language speaks a lot too. Just throw that out there. But ask questions. So what is it you like? What is it you don't like? What would you like me to do? Would you be okay if I did this? Should I do this? Are you cool with that? Or should I not? It's not rocket science. So open your mouth and ask questions. It's how you learn. You don't have to go in thinking and believing and knowing that you have to know everything about the person on the front end. You have to learn the person. And in addition to that, you will learn about yourself. All of those things are important when it comes to supporting who that person is and what they do, because the two go hand in hand. You can't separate Simply Put from Price McKinney. You can't separate being a poet from Price McKinney. It's just who I am. So once it comes to me getting with someone, this is who I am. It's not just a part of my life, it is my life. They got to get on board. They have to be a part of this, because I can't disconnect me from myself. I cannot disconnect me from myself. This is who I am. So this is something that going in, hey, I got a podcast, I write poems, I've had book signings before, I've blase skip. What is that you like? So I can make sure to make a note. This is what she does. So I can support what it is that she does. She might be a singer. She might be a musician. She might have a boutique. Whatever the case may be, I've got to find out what that is, because if I expect that from her, I've got to make sure I'm doing my part too. Again, I'm Price McKinney, Simply Put. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Simply Put with Price McKinney. Again, YouTube channel, Simply Put Simply Put Podcast with Price McKinney. I'm not an expert. I just know what I know, and I promise you, I'll see you soon.